Hola, estudiantes. Today we're gonna review preterite and imperfect. Uh, how do I know when to use imperfect and when to use preterite? ¿Cómo sé cuándo usar pretérito imperfecto? You should have your note guide out and you should stop this video to fill out the blanks. And of course, if you're having troubles understanding the theme, the topic of this that we're seeing here, and you should write your questions at the end and also rewatch it a couple of times. Preterite. When do we use preterite? We use preterite to express actions or states that the speakers use as completed. For example, ¿viviste en ese barrio el verano pasado? You lived in that neighborhood last year. To express the beginning or end of a past action. La película empezó a las 8. The movie began at 8. To narrate a series of past actions. Salí de la casa, crucé la calle, entré al edificio. I left the house, crossed the street, and entered the building. So these are series and they are sequential but all finished actions. Salí de la casa, I left the house, and after I left the house, crucé la calle, crossed the street, and after I crossed the street, I entered the building, entré al edificio. Now, let's see when we use imperfect. We use imperfect to describe repeated or habitual actions in the past with no reference to when they began or ended. Siempre nos quedábamos en aquel hotel. We always used to stay at the hotel. Todos los veranos iban a la costa. Every summer they used to go to the coast. To describe actions or events that the speakers views as in the process of happening in the past, again, with no reference to when they began or ended. Pedía la cena. She was ordering dinner. Buscaba el carro. He was looking for the car. Empezábamos a estudiar cuando él vino. We were beginning to study when he came. Also, we use the imperfect to convey background description, often accompanied by an interrupting action in the preterite. Hacía mucho frío cuando llegaron. It was very cold when they arrived. Caminábamos por el bosque cuando vimos una casa extraña. They were walking through the forest when we saw a strange house. To describe simultaneous actions in progress, and the key word here is mientras, while. Tú leías mientras Juan escribía la carta. You were reading while John was writing the letter. Again, keyword mientras. To describe physical characteristics, conditions, and mental and emotional attitudes in the past. Estaban muy distraídos. They were very distracted. La quería muchísimo. He loved her a lot. Estaba enfermo. I was sick. La casa era vieja. The house was old. Every time you have emotion, you have a characteristic, you're giving a physical description in your story about how the person looked or how they felt, it goes in imperfect. To tell time, age, and weather, era la una, eran las dos, tenía 18 años. It was 1 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock. She was 18 years old. And whether when it's part of a background description and not as a result of a previous action. Estaba nublado. It was cloudy. Había nubes grises. Por eso llovió. There were gray clouds. That's why it rained. In general, preterite is talking about completed actions or states in the past, and imperfect is talking about habitual actions in the past with no reference to its beginning or end. Here are some keywords associated with preterito. Ayer, anteayer, una vez, dos veces, el año, el lunes, el mes, el verano pasado, la semana pasada, de repente, suddenly. Imperfect, cuando preterite. Imperfect, something that was going on when preterite interrupted. So preterite is the interrupting action, and imperfect is the action that gets interrupted. Let's see, imperfect. Words associated with imperfect. Todos los días, los meses, los años, todas las semanas, cada día, generalmente, por lo general, siempre, nunca, frecuentemente, algunas veces, a veces, mientras, was, ing, were, doing something, used to, or would, when it implies used to. So, I like to describe preterite and imperfect and to compare it with a theater. So when you have your stage, every prompt that prepares your story, what gives your story meaning, it goes in imperfect. So if we're talking about the starry night, the darkness of the night, when we talk about the trees that were romantic, the stars twinkling, what they wanted to do, how much they loved each other, so how excited they were, all of that goes in imperfect. And then what really happened in the story goes in preterite. See, so he proposed, they got married, and lived happily ever after. That will go in imperfect. So I'm gonna explain you with a small little story that I created just for this picture. Los novios querían pasar una noche romántica. Boyfriend and girlfriend, they wanted to have a nice romantic night. It was night. Era de noche. Las estrellas brillaban. The stars twinkled. They were on the hammock. Se mecían en la hamaca. Los dos disfrutaban cuando el chico la miró en sus ojos. They both were enjoying, and that's what it was happening cuando something else interrupted their enjoying. It was the guy, the boyfriend, el chico, la miró en sus ojos. He looked at her deeply in the eyes. Su voz temblaba, ¿sí? His voice trembled, ¿sí? Cuando, what interrupted his voice trembling, ¿sí? Él confesó su amor. ¿Sí? He got brave and he confessed the love for her. Él temblaba cuando él le confesó su amor. And then we can put some emotion in there. Ella estaba emocionada y sorprendida. And we know that emotion goes in imperfect. And then finish action. ¿Sí? Él le propuso matrimonio. He proposed, so that in preterite. Now, La voz ahora, la voz de la chica temblaba mientras ella decía que sí. Now the voice of the girl trembled while she was answering sí. Keyword mientras, both things happening at the same time. Her sí was like trembling. Sí. She was excited. Se casaron, finished action, they got married. Los dos vivieron felices para siempre. And they lived happily ever after. Okay, so that was the story that I have for you. And now we're switching to words, they're verbs. That depends how you conjugate it, they can get one meaning or the other. And one of these verbs is querer. Querer in imperfect is quería. Quería acompañarte. I wanted to go with you, and it means wanted. And in the preterite, querer is quise. Quise acompañarte. I tried to go out with you, but I failed. O no quise acompañarte. I refused to go out with you. So depending on how you use preterite or imperfect for this one verb, it conveys a totally different meaning. Let's check the other one. The next one is poder, podía, an imperfect. Ana podía hacerlo. Ana could do it. See, meaning that she could, maybe she did, maybe she didn't. See, and in the preterite, poder, pudo, Ana pudo hacerlo. Ana succeeded in doing it. Or Ana no pudo hacerlo. Ana could not do it and did not do it. Another verb that changes with the meaning is saber, sabía. Ernesto sabía la verdad. Ernesto knew the truth. Or sabía, por supo, en pretérito. Por fin Ernesto supo la verdad. Ernesto finally discovered the truth. And this next one is conocer, conocía in the imperfect. Andrés ya conocía. Yo ya conocí a Andrés. I already knew Andrés. María y Andrés se conocían. María and Andrés knew each other. And in preterite, conocí. Conocí a Andrés en la fiesta. I met Andrés at the party. María y Andrés se conocieron en Acapulco. María and Andrés met in Acapulco. Now I want you to work in these exercises. You have them there if possible. Try to identify what is your trigger word that will let you know that you need to use preterite or imperfect. For example, in the first one is todos los días. Ir a casa de mi abuelita. Todos los días is one of those trigger words for imperfect, because todos los días is every day. That means that it's habitual. So you will write ir in imperfect. So ir in imperfect is iba. And let's do one more. That morning, aquella mañana, salir de vacaciones para Acapulco. That moment, that morning, it's just once, it's not repeated, it's not habitual. Aquella mañana salí, or salió, because it's not stated there, de vacaciones para Acapulco. Okay, so do the next one. Try to identify why do you use one or the other, and when you finish, you check your answer. So do not forget to study for your mini quiz, and I want you to stop here the video so you can work on your answers and then check your answers. Okay, chicos, Please bring your questions if you have questions, and be ready for your mini quiz.